Hi, my name is Becca. Welcome to Raising Them Simply. Here we share videos all about our secular homeschool family of 5. Today we're going to chat about how I'm able to plan out our homeschool day as a working mom. First of all, disclaimer, if I am sounding a little bit different today, I had oral surgery this last week, so I'm trying really hard to enunciate my words. And second of all, my baby is over here in the corner off camera playing with her toys, so you might hear that as well. But if you are new here, we homeschool just one of our children. He just turned 6. I also have a 2.5-year-old and a almost 6-month-old, and I'm also a registered nurse. So we homeschool year-round around my schedule as a nurse. And I've gotten lots of questions on how I'm able to accomplish that. And so I'm gonna take you through how I plan out our homeschool week. So first of all, I currently use this homeschool planner and essential organizer. I just got this off Amazon. I can link it down below. If you saw my first grade haul, I am switching over to a different planner, but I'm gonna use this one up first. So there's that. I will go ahead and flip the camera around and take you through as I schedule out our week this week. So when I open up to this planner, it is all blank, so I have to fill it out. So at the time I'm filling this, it is Monday, August 19th. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill out these days. And then I write the dates up top. Okay, now since I am only homeschooling the one child, I go ahead and I write our subjects in here. So we do English language arts, math, history, science, and then down here I do miscellaneous, and I will go through that in just a moment. Now if I move this here so you can see a little bit better, there is this little gap at the bottom here. Now like I said, I am a registered nurse. So there are days when we cannot do school because I'm working, or maybe we have appointments that I need to be aware of, and that helps me look at my week. So right here, I write down plans. Okay, so today is Monday, so we had a chiropractor appointment this morning, so you couldn't do school in the morning, and we have karate tonight, so I just do K for karate. Tomorrow I am babysitting a friend of mine. I'm babysitting her son, so I could probably do school tomorrow, but if this just helps me for the rest of the week, so I know, hey, I might not be able to get to school with 4 kids. On Wednesday I work. Thursday I am babysitting again. And then on Saturday I do work, but I just picked up a short shift that is only 4 hours long from 3 until 7:30 at night. So I could probably still do school that day. So when I take a look at the week, this is where I start to do some maneuvering. Now that I know what our plans are for the week, I can figure out what days we can and cannot do school. Now, the way that it works in our family is that I am the main homeschool teacher. My husband does not do anything with homeschool unless it's like a worksheet or something simple, or like building something or a project. So I know that because I work a 12-hour shift on Wednesday, we are not doing school on Wednesday. So I just cross that out. My goal is always to do school a minimum of 2 days a week. I strive for 4 days a week. Now, because I'm a nurse and I do 12-hour shifts, some weeks I don't work at all. I can go 7 days without working, and those would be the weeks where I would strive for 4 to 5 days a week. This is a busier week for us, so I know that we're not going to be able to do that. So I know for sure on Sunday here, because we have no plans, we're going to do school on Sunday. That was yesterday. And we're for sure going to do school on Friday as well. Now, because of how our life is and how busy it is, I always, I know that on the days that we do school, we are for sure going to do something for language arts and we're going to do something for math. We do those every day. History and science, I strive for those once a week. And then for miscellaneous down here, this would be like if we are doing sign language, if we're doing our calendar, if we're journaling, something like that. So because today is Monday, we already did school yesterday, and I'm going to fill in what we did. So one of the reasons why I don't plan it out before we do school is because, you know, either there's temperaments that aren't jiving well. I don't want to push school if it's a particularly hard day. Maybe my baby's teething really bad and she needs me more, things like that. My son can do some things independently for school, but not everything because he's not reading independently yet. So I found that if I was planning it ahead of time, I was feeling like I was constantly behind and not catching up. So I decided to do it this way. And that works really well for us. So yesterday was a science day. We actually went on a nature walk. We read a book about bugs. And then we searched for those bugs in the forest that we were walking in. Okay, so like I said, we did our nature walk. We read a book about bugs for our area. We searched for those bugs on our nature walk, and we talked about why they live there, why that was a good environment for them, the ecosystem. We talked about what those bugs' jobs are for our ecosystem and stuff like that. When we got home, we did our journaling. This counts as art for us. So see, this is why I put it in the miscellaneous area. So I just kind of label what that is for. He drew a picture of our nature walk and the things that we found, and then he had to tell me about his picture, and then I wrote everything down that he told me, and that was part of that for us. Now, this could also count as like our English language arts for the day. Just depends on how involved it is. I'm just going to count this as art for the day right there. Now, that was all that we got done for school yesterday. We ended up spending about 2 hours on our nature walk, and we really try to do school in the morning because that's what works best for us. So we weren't able to get to anything else yesterday, and that is okay. That's why we year-round homeschool. Now, today is Monday, so we had our chiropractor appointment. Right now, the kids are actually doing quiet time and lunch right now. That's why I'm able to film this. So we were not able to do the any schooling this morning because, you know, for people doing chiropractor appointments, that took about an hour. Then we went to the park. We have karate tonight, so I know that we are going to have to do some school after the movie. Now, I don't normally write in right now before we accomplish something, like I said, but for the sake of this video, I am going to. So we are going to do our all about reading, and we're going to finish lesson 27. The only thing we have left to finish that lesson is we're going to do some review flashcards, and then he's going to read one of the stories and one of the readers, and then he's done with that lesson. So I feel fairly confident that we're going to be able to finish that because that's only going to take about 10 minutes. Now, as far as for our math, we are going to do our math with confidence. And I'm going to take a look at last week here. We're going to be on lesson 1.4. These lessons are only about 10 minutes long as well for us because my son can move through it fairly quickly. This part, since we just started it, it's all review. So it's pretty easy for him. So we'll be able to do that. Now, like I said, we try to hit math and reading at least twice a week. So when I look at our babysitting, we may or may not be able to get to some of this when it comes to me watching my friend's son, so we might not be able to do that. But I do see here on Friday we are wide open. So we are still, and then Saturday I only work that short shift. So I know that we should be able to get reading or math done at least once, if not 2 more times this week. So I will go ahead and show you one of our completed weeks just so you get an idea of what it looks like when it's all filled out for the week. Okay, so I had to go back a little bit because we just got done with our summer break. We took about a month off before we did our level up day. So I labeled it differently here, but we've got music and health, reading, math, science, history, and then our plans. So we had a beach day here. We didn't do any school that day, so that was scribbled out. Tuesday we did story time, so that counts as our music for that day. We did explode the code, so that counted for our reading. The good and the beautiful, math. So we got math done, and then I saw down here we had a doctor's appointment and the library that day. So that's why that helped me decide, okay, we probably can't do all about reading because that will take a little longer than explode the code for us. So that was a good input there. And then Wednesday, I had a friend coming over, and so we did all about reading and explode the code. So we were able to do a double for our reading. We did the good and the beautiful for our math. We went on a nature walk that counted as our science for us. And then we are doing Little School of Smiths. We were on Jamestown. And so for history, we were finishing building our Jamestown. Now we had karate on this day, so we did not, and we had already met our 2 days. So my son wanted a break, so we took a break off for that day. We had a co-op on this day, so we got together with some friends. That's usually a 4 or 5 hour deal, so we don't do any school on those days. But then Saturday, we did our All About Reading, lesson 26, and the good and the beautiful for math. So as you can see here, we accomplished 3 days of school that week. And we hit our goal of doing math and reading every day that we did school. And then anything else is just extra. Now, because our school is a little bit different since we do not do Monday through Friday for school, I want to keep track of the school and what subjects we are doing throughout the month as like a snapshot to help with recording. In Minnesota, we do have to accomplish a certain amount of days or hours of school in a year. Now, my son doesn't meet that cutoff yet because he's 6, and you don't have to start that until he's 7, but I do want to get in the habit of checking it. So I always have a tab here where I could flip back, and this is where I track so I can look at it at a glance for the month. So we have English, math, science, history, miscellaneous, and then health. For Boy Scouts, my son does do some things that qualify more as health, so I put that there. Now, if I want to track it, all I do is, it looks like I need to go to August 11th. So we did not do school August 11th, 12th, or 13th. My son had his birthday last week, so this was an abnormal week for us. So I will go back and I will cross off 11, 12, and 13 so that I know we did not do school those days. And then on the 14th, we did reading, math, and then we did the calendar and ASL lesson. So we will do reading, math, and then miscellaneous. And then we did not do school on the 15th or 16th. However, I do see here we did go to the library on the 16th for a story time, so I can actually count that as English. So I will just make a note of that here. So on the 15th, we did not do that. We did English. and then nothing else that day. And then on Saturday we did English, math, and history. So we could do English, math, and history. Now this is all crossed out because we took that break from school. So we did not do school these days because we're on break. So I'm just gonna make a note here so that way I don't panic and go, oh, we only did, 10 days of school this month. That's because we were on summer break. So I'm gonna make a note here. So that I know that that's why those are all blank. I will flip back so you can kind of see a completed month and what that looks like. Okay, so this is back in June. So we have health and music, reading, math, science, history, and then I did life for life skill because we were really focusing on stuff like that. And I ended up not tracking any of it because I was just not keeping in mind what days we did what. So that's why I don't do that anymore. But so it looks like we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days of school this month. So we actually had 16 days of school, which I'm fairly surprised at because this is at the tail end of our maternity leave. And so I was really focusing on us just doing a lot of time together as a family. So this is another benefit of us doing year-round homeschooling. I'm not worried about having slower summers because we do it year-round. So as long as we finish the material by our level up day or close to level up day, then I'm fine with that. So that is how I set up our planner for our homeschool. So that is kind of how I set up our week for homeschool. I know that there's a lot of people out there that want to homeschool and feel like they can't because they have to work or maybe they have unconventional schedules that they have to work around. And I'm really hoping that this helps shed a light on you can absolutely do homeschool and work at the same time. It takes juggling. It takes some creativity. But I feel like as long as that I'm consistent on the things that really matter at this age for reading and math, then I feel like that's a successful homeschool week. Now, we take it more of a classical approach where we will be going back to subjects like for our history and our science. So I feel like those are just extra things right now to help us get in the groove for homeschooling, and they're very child-led. So we did anatomy because my son wanted to do anatomy, and now we're doing more of we will be doing more of like an ocean marine biology study because that's something that my son is interested in now. But those are not necessarily things that I'm sweating about getting done for our homeschool. I count those as just extra. Now, there are some other things that count for homeschool that I don't necessarily chart. So, for example, our read alouds, excuse me, I do not track our read alouds. We read books all the time at night, right before bed. We pick chapter books. Right now, we are reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We're focusing on books that are also movies, and then we talk about what the differences are, which ones he likes better, etc. I do not write those down. I probably should because that would count as something for English, but that's not something that we're doing right now currently. We're at the library 2 or 3 days a week getting books, reading them. My son, when we're driving, I'll ask him to read certain signs, things like that. So he's still doing more than what I'm actually putting in here, which I'm sure as a homeschooler you would understand that there's other things that you can count as school, like baking can count as math for the day. Those things I don't chart down. As a busy mom with 3 younger kiddos, I can't chart every single thing. Now, it might be different as my kids get older. We can make it more of a actual thing that we do for school that is planned out that I could put in the planner, etc. but that's just not the stage of life I'm in right now. So I do not want you to feel overwhelmed if you're in a similar situation to myself and my family. We are able to make homeschooling work even with our unconventional scheduling. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, are you year-round homeschoolers? Do you have a traditional schedule, or are you trying to work around a working schedule? I know families that work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and they do homeschooling at night when they get home and on the weekends. So I know it could totally work out. Let me know how it works for you guys down below. Also, please hit that subscribe button. It is a free way to support my channel and to get notified of more content in the future. It really helps me out, and I appreciate every one of you. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye.